what is the current status of your relationship with your boyfriend? Like, how are you guys doing? Like, where are you guys at today?
So Andy from the show, I feel he's ready for marriage or relationship and stuff, and I felt like, okay, I'm getting to know him, or I'm exploring my options, or I wasn't ready for commitment.
Are you guys still together today?
Like, we text and talk, but I feel there's been a lot of arguing, so I don't know if we're compatible or if it's just the stress of quarantine, or so I feel I'm sorting out my love life. It's a mess.
I think I remember him, like when we would travel. I mean, he doesn't live in Orlando, right? So how much time are you guys spending
You were
together?
with me. Yeah, remember when I was in Mexico and then I got injured? He sent me like a bottle of champagne to the room and stuff. So we were talking or getting to know each other back then. But honestly, I was like drunk as fuck on the phone because I get so shy and nervous.
So do you drink before you start to record?
Oh my god, I was like drinking before filming, all through filming. Like, I was just so nervous, and I felt it made me more talkative or get out of my head. But then it was hard to see, like, the producer was like sitting like 6 or 7 feet away from me, so I'd have to like stare at him and like answer questions, and I think it was difficult when I was drunk.
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, oh, that was probably a mistake, but would I do it again? Yeah. I mean, you guys saw the quarantine show. I was drunk, too.
That's the Cortney I know. So are you watching this season of 90 Day Fiancé, and what are your thoughts on some of the couples?
So I feel every season it's kind of the same storyline. It's like, oh, is this person going to show up or no? And then the person always ends up showing up, you know, but I'm surprised they dragged it all the way to the very end.
Do you think that David and, like, if that's really Lana, or do you think that that's just the model?
I think that is Lana, because he proposed to her. Honestly, I don't feel she speaks English, because when she filmed, she was doing her whole segment in Russian, so I think she's probably like confused, but I'm sure they paid her a lot of money to do the show. That's why she probably finally agreed to do it. I'm curious if he did 2 flights there, because like they didn't meet and he flew home and then he flew back, so I'm curious if he actually did 2 flights or if they just filmed it like it looked like he did that.
So you think that maybe he was just there once and TLC like kind of faked the story?
That's what I'm curious, but it seems like that would have been too much hassle to put on a different outfit and film in the plane again and film in, so maybe he was just there one time.
Now, with your experience with 90 Day, like, do you think that, like, do they edit things to make it look a certain way where it's not really true, and they just re-edit it that way? Is there a lot of that goes on?
I feel, yeah, the editing can create a whole storyline where it's like, okay, yeah, that was happening, but the viewer that's not seeing the entire picture and they're seeing like a 5-minute clip, it's like, oh, I can see why their perspective would be a certain way because they didn't see the entire story. That like the editing kind of makes its own little story.
So is there like an element of 90 Day Fiancé that's fake?
I don't know.
Yeah. Have they ever done that with you?
You're trying to get me to...
No. But never do that to you.
You film for like 13 hours a day, so when you keep doing repetitive things or you keep having the same conversation with the person all day, when you're like, oh, you know, you really irritated me today, I can't believe you did this, and you have to keep discussing a certain topic, I think it becomes like almost brainwashing where you start to feel irritated with this person. So it's like it's happening, but it's like how much are they kind of like manipulating the situation? So I don't think things are scripted, but I think the producers know how to play on your emotions, or maybe they studied psychology. It's kind of like I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if they like studied how to get what they want, you know.
What are your thoughts on Big Ed and his relationship?
First, he had like photos of all of his clients on his bedroom walls, and it's like lingerie photos. I felt that was super inappropriate, and I would be uncomfortable if I was one of the models and I didn't know my photographer was posting my lingerie pictures in his bedroom. And then how he talked to Rose, I felt he went to a third world country and then he acted like, ew, you're poor, basically. I felt so bad for her and her family. Like, they opened their home to him, and I felt he just kind of exploited them and, like, you know, ew, they sleep on the floor. Ew, they don't have electricity. Like, ew, this is how they shower. Ew, there's a rat. Then he, like, has the nerve to be like, oh, I don't think she wants to live here. I think she wants to go to the U.S. or she wants money or this or that.
Yeah. Also, you know, I'm a fat person, right? So it's like, I think that he was like really critical of the way she looked. Like, oh, shave your legs and brush your teeth. I'm like, bro, like, come on, man. Like,
I'm curious if he's just trying to make her feel like, you know, rip away her self-esteem so then she wants to be with him, because I feel a lot of ugly guys that get attractive girls start like tearing down their self-esteem, so then you feel like, oh yeah, maybe I am ugly, or maybe I smell, or maybe I'm not good enough, maybe another man wouldn't want me. Or I'm curious if he actually felt bad about her or if he was trying to tear down her self-esteem because he feels insecure with himself.
Because he's ugly?
I'm not going to say that, but...
Ah! Come on, Courtney. Just say it. That is ugly.
I feel the audacity he had to be insulting her appearance. I'll say that. Is it because he's insecure with himself, or is he just an asshole? I don't know. He's acting like, oh, she wants to use me, but then he's the one tearing her down and he's the one using her. Like, he saw how her family lives and they're struggling, and then he went there and ate the family's food and then didn't do anything to like contribute or like offer the family a meal or offer them an Airbnb or like, you know, do something nice or even bring a gift to the family. Like, the only gift he got was lingerie for Rose. It's like, which is a self-serving gift, you know. Lingerie is not really a gift for her.
Right. And then he asked her to shave her legs and...
Yeah, and then, like, shave your legs and mouthwash. And it's like, what the hell? I felt, like, very sex tourist vibes from that.
So what do you think with Lisa and Israel? Like, what are your views on them?
He's probably wanting to come to America to advance his music career, but I don't see it going too far, but I think it's mutually beneficial that she has the ability to advance his career or give him a visa to the U.S., so I think she's in for a surprise once he comes to the U.S.
Ashley and Jay are back together. Are you close with Ashley, and what do you think about them getting back together?
So Ashley's gone on a few of the trips with us and stuff. I felt shocked, like, oh wow, they're getting back together. I'm curious to see how it lasts outside of quarantine.
But do you think that after quarantine, like, they'll break up again?
I think, honestly, I don't feel he's going to be faithful because, like, I don't feel he's going to be faithful because his dad was a player. So I think it's, like, ingrained in him to be a player. And then he's already cheated multiple times, or I feel he's shown his true colors. I think it's hard to train somebody out of a character that they've developed from childhood, you know. Hey, it's Courtney Reardon from 90 Day Fiancé, and you're listening to the Domenick Nati Show.